Hey everyone, welcome to Stock Talk for August 6th. This is the S&P 500 Daily time frame. So if you're not with the markets today, we saw a relief rally to the upside just a little bit. And you can see this green candle made today. But I want to make notice of these trend lines, which I have not changed so far. This is the major area of support, 278.50. In my opinion, this is the last line and the most important support for the bulls. So let's take a look at what happened intraday, starting from yesterday to where we closed today. So this was yesterday where we closed, and you can see upon some news we went back down and tested the support. Now the support, it's around that area, so it doesn't have to be to the exact penny, but you can see we held that support and then we basically evaporated all the bad news away upon a hit of a major support. And then so far today, we went a little bit higher. So if you take a look at the movement from where we closed yesterday to where we started today to where we closed today, wasn't all that much. But the movement really came after market yesterday and during the day yesterday. So I just wanted to give a perspective of how important this level is, first of all. And second, couple things I'm watching right now in terms of the charts. So let's go back to the daily time frame for the S&P 500 and talk about the current developments. Now, recently we've had a rapid and sudden move to the downside. Now, I said the onus is on the bulls to prove themselves that we can stabilize around this area. On the bulls to stabilize for many days. Today is day 1.5. Doesn't count as many days. I need to see tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, Friday, next week to stabilize before the bulls, before, we can say that, hey, we've cleared the way. We've maybe worked this off and potentially we can reverse. But right now, if you look above us, we have a resistance. This corresponds to a gap area, right? And that resistance, and this is higher low line at 290 to 291 on the S&P 500. That's above us. That's an area of resistance. So look for that area. Another thing that we have to keep in mind is note that we never came and printed a support test during the day for the S&P. All this happened after market yesterday. So will we print it? Will we not print it? We don't know. But what we know is it's down there, and we haven't tested it just yet. And that's that. We don't have to go down and test it, but it's down there. Okay, so that's what we're seeing right now. So a lot of people are also talking about, this is the possibility of the next start of the bear market. So in order for that to occur, which I'm not dismissing the possibility of, we would need to make another rejection somewhere, I think, along this trend line. That would be pretty bearish. If we started testing this trend line and we can't cross above the all-time highs and we started pushing lower, that would be troublesome for broad markets. Do we see it yet? The answer is no, but do we have the technical developments for potential? Yes. I think the odds increased after the 4 days of a consecutive drop. The rapid nature of the drop increased that probability. But we don't see that shift or the major shift. If you're talking about that the market's going to coil over, we don't see it just yet, but we certainly have a lot of technicals to work with, especially with the bulls. They have a lot to prove in the next few days. All right, let's take a look at TVIX or volatility. When we look at TVIX or volatility, you can see right now, this is something quite interesting, was this, okay? We today formed a red candle. This is almost like a tail candle nearing the peak. So this actually might signal a short-term move to the downside for TVIX. So now if TVIX or volatility goes to the downside, we expect markets to at least do a more of a recovery. And that would make sense if SPY goes to 290 to 291. Now, where's the support? The support is really difficult to pinpoint, as you all know, because support will really depend on where SPY is at that time period. on the daily time period, and whether we're at the resistance and the response of the resistance. If TVIX has relative strength compared to the markets or relative weakness, those both will tell a story during the trading day tomorrow and the days thereafter. If you look at the big picture for TVIX, what you can see here is actually we're still forming a series of lower highs just now. Now we'll take this spot as the spot for a lower high. So this price here. Now I'm talking about, these are major moves, right? This move happened on June 3rd with a 27.28 high. So until we can cross that level, and of course, if we cross that level, yes, the markets will be in shambles. Right, I get it. But my point here is that if we look at the big picture for TVIX, so far on this most recent spike, we have not spiked over a major top or major recent top. It's still making a series of lower highs. So we just have to take that with a grain of salt and move on forward. All right, let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil. So here's crude oil on the daily time frame. This is still on a downtrend, and you can see this is below all the moving averages. So this is still down. The trend is down. The support is, this support's now gone and broken at 54.32. Next support is around 51.78, but the trend continues to be lower, and I won't be bullish on crude oil until we can at least get above the moving averages. Can it do that? I think it can, but we haven't seen it just yet. Natural gas continues to do a very predictable pattern. Rejection at the 20 or rejection of the 50 daily moving averages. And the next support is all the way down at 1.888. So this is still getting rejected. No change in pattern here. Typical stuff for natural gas. Gold futures. Typical pattern here, still moving higher. Your next resistance is at 1550, all the way over here. So this is still moving higher, and this is still on an uptrend. No change. Okay, so let's talk about some comments from everyone. Start with Coolio's top comment, which is, or the first comment, bulls take the stairs down, bears take the window. Yeah, I think I can see why you said that. So when I mentioned the bears, you can see how quickly we went lower, but the bulls, when we try to hold over support, relative to yesterday's candle, wasn't all that much, right? If you expected bulls to do the window or the elevator, you expect the bulls to close all the way over here by the Friday's close, which didn't happen obviously, but it's a little bit slower if it's for the bulls. Okay, Jim Kelly, thank you for your comment. Yeah, I read your comment with regards to bullish sentiment and the trends and possible of a bubble going on. It's not out of the question, but we just need to there's other signs that I need to see for that to really strengthen. Okay. All right. One more turn. Inverse ETFs looking mighty fine. So inverse ETFs, as you all know, is something to hedge against a possible move back to the downside for markets. But you also have to be careful because if the trend doesn't play out as you expect, holding on to that losing position can accumulate little by little by little. So. All right, good. Steve, outstanding. Thank you for your comment. Rico, hey, great video. Never bought AMD. Looking to buy TVIX tomorrow. TVIX. Okay, so yeah, just be a little bit cautious with TVIX as well. Mike, emphasize support. I emphasize my worries around the support of 278. Were you implying that we will be in a full bear market if we do not see above 300 again this year? No, I'm not saying that we're going to see a full bear market. That is way too early to say. And I know that if I say that we're in a full bear market right now, given the technical stance, the market will eventually, even if we are in a full bear market, okay, the market will eventually trick, and probably even move up and then cave on lower, right? So it's too early to say. And that move higher can proceed with more all-time highs. So who knows what's going to happen in the next few weeks or months. But all I'm saying here is specific levels to watch as we move on forward. And then K9 will tackle your ticker MMM, triple M. MMM, this is downtrending. I don't like this chart. There's nothing to do here, I don't think. Nothing to do here. This is downtrending below all the moving averages. We've seen in the past how support levels are not held. Support levels are not held. So we do not expect this support level to hold of 159.80, and this can continue on lower. Where's your resistance? There's all sorts of horizontal. There's a resistance up here, 184.19, but then there's a resistance over here, 177.77, and then all of your moving averages are all your resistance levels. So especially as you can see, the upper end of the 200 period moving average is the resistance. So okay, thanks everyone for watching this video. Hope you had a great day, and I'll talk to everyone soon as we have rapid developments in the markets.